I don't understand how you can look at a situation like this and be like, no, wow, yeah, like both sides are at fault here. What the fuck do you mean? Like, what are they supposed to do? You are literally so dumb it hurts. Yeah, dude, I know. I'm so dumb for not, I don't know, whatever you believe in. Please follow up with what you believe in and explain why you think I'm dumb. I would love to be enlightened by your worldview, please. He sounds unintelligent. You wouldn't know about bravery, so don't bother trying to understand it. Bravery must be a very hard concept for you. Yeah. Unlike you, though, Reminosity, a very brave person, you know, because you're an anonymous Twitch chatter. Bitch, you're not even brave enough to put your face on the internet with your and associate everyone else with your dumb fucking thoughts. Bravery. What do you mean bravery? Is bravery typing anonymously on the internet? Hasan likes dead babies, it says. High school freshmen be like, abolish NATO. Bravery is like, bravery is when you stand for NATO and you defend NATO. I've never seen Ben Shapiro not dominate anyone he's debated. Really wanted to see this. Don't ban this guy, mods. How do you make this about racism? How do I make a fucking story placed in like post-apartheid South Africa about racism? Homie's like, why are you making this political right now? Are you serious? I don't understand how you could look at a post-apartheid South Africa and be like, wow, racism is part of the reason for why this happened. It's so strange to me. It's like looking at Nazi Germany and being like, dude, come on, bro. You call everybody Nazis, dog. Like, what? Yeah, joining me as I'm watching the primary debate coverage and going, man, why are you making this primary debate coverage political? Can you please stop? This is all black on black people, so please enlighten me. Oh, my Lord. Did it. You did it, chatter. You actually cracked the code. I want to know what... Okay. Please explain to me why you think the black on black violence in this circumstance we're watching, which is already a pretty nice little dog whistle. Please explain why you think those guys are fighting one another. Unless the beginning of the vid skipped over something big, all I see is local struggles and you make it about racism. The beginning of the video did actually skip something big. That something was called the apartheid. Okay? It didn't actually skip it because most people have at least like some level of understanding of the history of South Africa and what kind of colonial violence took place. So most people were already operating with that puzzle piece. Like they had that already. So no, racism does play a big role in this. Oh, he said where blacks were killing white people and taking over their farms. Yeah, dude, that's what South Africa is famous for. Damn, dude, it took, wait, hold on. He said, you are literally so dumb it hurts. It took, what, 4 minutes and 4 comments for him to basically reveal that he thinks I'm fucking stupid because, you know, he has a completely distorted worldview that is motivated by all of the white supremacist talking points that he's heard. How did those white people materialize in South Africa, you think? That is, of course, before we arrive at the reality that black people in South Africa are still murdered at much higher rates than white people in South Africa, and that like whole white people are subject to, anti-white racism in South Africa was a complete lie, a fabrication. Still waiting for the explanation on how this is racism. Dude, if you don't understand that like every piece of fucking violence that is currently occurring in South Africa is directly related to the apartheid, I don't know what to tell you. You are probably, as a Ben Shapiro fan, one of those people who says the civil rights movement ended racism and then says Obama becoming president, a black guy, ended racism, or says slavery was abolished and racism ended when slavery was abolished. You know, that was a long time ago. You're reaching. That was a long time ago. Completely neglecting that, 400 fucking years of colonial violence, rape, slavery is going to have a lasting impact, especially when your society is built around the foundations of upholding white supremacy. But like in this circumstance, we're literally fucking talking about apartheid that ended like while I was alive, okay? Like I was alive and South Africa was still doing like the steroided version of Jim Crow South. There haven't been enough generations to even solve the lasting impact of such segregation. This is why, in the beginning of the video, I mentioned that despite making up 10% of the population, white people in South Africa still own around 90% of the viable land. So if you don't comprehend like complete systemic segregation enforced by a racist, colonial, violent, white supremacist state in a country that's like not even one generation removed from said violence, from said racial colonial violence, is going to have long-lasting racial consequences upon the indigenous population, the black people that live there. I don't know what to tell you. Still waiting for the explanation of how this raised him. Well, he has no answers. I don't know. Why do you think black-on-black violence is happening in South Africa? Come on. Okay, local government can't police, locals form a militia, mob justice fights back, fuck white people. I can see that argument, but the fact that you always stretch narratives is pathetic. Wait, what? So you're saying you understand my argument now, but also you think it's a stretch? When talking about South Africa, bringing up the apartheid as a way to describe the current material conditions that black people in South Africa are subjected to be a stretch, there is no planet, there's no world in which you would ever agree that, like, there's no matter of historical evidence that you're ever going to agree to that is the reason why black people are killing other black people. You just don't want to admit the real reason why you think black people are killing other black people, because you're a pussy. You think I'm stupid, but at least I'm not a pussy. I say what I mean, and I openly state it. I have a worldview, I have a moral compass that guides me, and I'm always openly stating exactly what I mean. You, on the other hand, are a pussy. You can't fucking say what you mean because you're a racist piece of shit, and you're worried that other people are going to think you're racist, and you can't even openly state that you're racist. That's why you probably constantly fucking cry about like woke culture and SJWs. It's because everyone is going to know how much of a monstrous, cowardly, pants-shitting piece of shit, little limp-dick, pathetic chud you are if you were to ever actually say a fraction of what you truly mean. That's it. That's the difference. There is no manner of historical materialism that I could ever educate you with that would allow you to personally realize that, like, it doesn't have anything to do with, the genetic differences of black people or the cultural differences. If you are a pussy and you can't say genetic differences, so you have to say cultural differences between black people and white people. They're just predisposed towards violence. Like, that's what you want to say, but you can't say it because, woke culture is stopping you, right? Just say it. You're openly allowed to say it. I gave you the podium. Too much of a coward to say it, though. Yikes. Couldn't be that far off base. You'd probably watch diaper commercials and find a way to tie it into racism. No, it's sad. It's sad that you're trying to run away from the truth. Explain to me why you think those black people are fighting one another. Explain to me why you think those black people are in such dire conditions, living in such dire conditions in post-apartheid South Africa. If you personally think that racism did not play a role in post-apartheid South Africa in the material conditions that black people are subjected to, explain to me why you think they're in that situation. Go ahead. You have the floor. I want to hear from you. I want you to please elaborate. You have the opportunity to fucking own every single person right now. Don't log off. I want you to fucking enlighten us, dude. We don't know. There's people from South Africa in here that probably would love to be enlightened by you and your incredible level of knowledge, your depth. I want to get fucking owned, dude. Come on, give me the intellectual Ben Shapiro argument without moving away and running around and saying diaper commercials or whatever, like a bunch of irrelevant things. You got it. You have the opportunity. You can keep Googling. Like I said, I understand your narrative. The fact that you constantly bring everything you watch into some hateful point is just sad. No wonder you're always angry. Seems like a lot of backpedaling here. You're trying to very, very desperately not agree with me while simultaneously recognizing that I'm right. So maybe just reflect a little bit. Take a deep breath, take a step back away from the keyboard, okay? Take a deep breath and recognize that, yes, talking about apartheid, colonial violence, and white supremacy is entirely appropriate when looking at contemporary South African violence and material conditions. If you do not think that something that ended in 1991 is relevant to our current analysis of what's going on in South Africa, then you will never actually agree to systemic injustices and any kind of structural inequality and structural violence. You just always want to turn it around. But again, you haven't answered my question, by the way. You just ran away and you're being forced into a fucking corner like the cowardly little shit you are. Give me your answer. If it's not the apartheid, what the fuck is it? Go ahead, dude. You're brave. You're brave as fuck. I want you to fucking shower me with your bravery. 1994. Sorry, whatever. I don't know. You have the opportunity to enlighten 23,000 libtards, dude. Just do it. Please point out that it's literally logical fallacy after logical fallacy coming from this guy. Every debate pervert is really, really bad at doing debates. That's the irony. They just fancy themselves to be like intellectual giants. But the problem is, the reason why they find like people like Ben Shapiro or even other debate perverts who are supposedly on the left, which are not actually on the left, the reason why they think those guys are actually intellectual giants is because they themselves are fucking dumbasses who look up to these pseudo-intellectual idiots who present themselves as like intellectual titans. That's it. They're susceptible to that. I see crime and violence. I just don't get a boner to blame white people like you is all a little dog. You still can't do it. You still have not given me an answer, okay? You have not given me an answer. Why do you think crime and violence is occurring in apartheid South Africa? Especially. Are your feelings hurt? Are you one of those pussy ass white people that is just like, I am so fucking fragile? Oh my God, I'm Ibram Kendi white fragility, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. You mentioned white people in apartheid South Africa? Really, dude? Wow, look at that. Can't believe you're making it about white people again in apartheid South Africa. The reason why I wanted to show this is because, again, a lot of these people are not very intelligent. At least I say I'm a fucking dumb idiot. You know what I mean? You can make up your own mind. You know, I'm not gonna run around and try to make myself come across like a incredibly smart human being. I know my limitations. I admit them all the time. I'm a very stupid person. I'm just not as smart as you, I guess. You see intracultural wars across the globe and instantly know it's race's fault, dude. I'm not even talking about across the globe, okay? But yes, Western colonial violence is responsible for a lot of underdeveloped nations staying that way. Okay, so that's number one. And number two, yes, this is literally post-apartheid South Africa. Just because you personally do not understand the historical context of the apartheid does not change the reality that I'm wrong or making something about race. This is literally about race. Same with the Jim Crow laws. Same with a lot of things in the American criminal justice system. They originally made it about race, okay? So just simply mentioning that as a historical fact is hurting your feelings instead of the actual historical facts themselves. What the fuck is wrong with you? And yet you have still refused to admit or refused to answer what your true position is. If it's not about apartheid South Africa and colonial violence, why are these black people hurting themselves, hurting each other? Why are they fighting? Why is there so much violence in South Africa? Why is there so much poverty in South Africa? Why? If it's not capitalism and white supremacy, what is it?